not for people who are in customer-facing roles or in sales roles. Look, if you're going to accelerate your career, or you're going to do well in your career, you're going to have to bring innovation, or you're going to have to bring entrepreneurial principles into your career, into your role, to be able to accelerate your path up the ladder. And so today I'm going to talk about one of the ways in which you can begin to spot opportunities for innovation within your role or within your organization. If you're interested, let's go. Now, one of the ways to be able to spot opportunity for innovation is paying attention to the customer. So I'm going to talk you through about 5 or 6 ways you can deploy customer centricity in bringing innovation into your work and innovation into your career. And to be honest, this video is not for people who are in customer-facing roles or in sales roles. I'm talking to people that are in roles where they normally do not interact with the customer. I am asking that if you want to innovate in what you do, which ultimately serves your career, you must figure out paths to be able to interface, collect data, and integrate with the customer. The first way is the simplest way. Do a deep dive into your customer feedback. To grow in your role, you must really hear what your customers are saying. Understanding genuine customer feedback is akin to having a direct line to their desires and to their pain points. It allows you to adjust and innovate based on what you are hearing. You can do that through surveys and feedback forms. You can also use online reviews. So what I'm saying is, if your day-to-day job does not bring you access to this information, go out of your way to find or seek out this information within your organization. By all means, talk to the customer service team and look at their KPIs. Look at the data, read the feedback, understand what's going on with your clients. A really good example of this is Apple, after feedback, created the night shift mode. And this was addressing users' concerns with sleep disruption. Dyson revolutionized the vacuuming industry by listening to the common complaints about vacuums that were in market at the time. The next thing you can do is customer journey mapping. Look, understanding the customer's path enables you to become the innovation hero. Someone once said, the path to the boardroom, it's mapping the customer's journey. Do with that information what you will. By mapping out the customer's journey end to end, not just with your department, you can see where there is the most value and where they face the most drop off, right? So one, you've got to identify the touch points and where are the different ways in which the customer interacts with you. And then two, you've got to spot the friction points, clients, the points at which things are relatively uncomfortable or uneasy for the customer. So for instance, Starbucks, realizing that queues was a friction point for its customers, created the mobile ordering app so you can order even before you go into the store. Another example is the Amazon one-click, right? So they understood one of the friction points for the customer's buying journey was having to put in the same data over and over again. So Amazon created one click, your data is saved, and you bought a product. The other thing is to engage in direct conversation. Nobody can stop you from doing that. You can talk to clients when you meet them. You can tag along with the customer service team when they talk to clients. One conversation with the customer can help change your career trajectory. You never know. The ways you can do this are one, through user interviews. So Airbnb, for instance, grew exponentially by meeting its early users. Or focus groups. So Lego, when it was almost bankrupt, started by focusing on user group insights, and that enabled them to build Legos that showed them that kids wanted more challenging sets of Legos, and they built those. Again, another way is empathy mapping, where the customer's shoes, walk in the customer's shoes, go through the processes the customer needs to go through. Now, a really good example, Dropbox realized that users felt overwhelmed with the clutter, the user interface, and that led to the introduction of organized folders. And the empathy mapping is important because it provides a deeper emotional understanding and helps you resonate with the users. For instance, Facebook has, I don't know if they still do it, but they have their users use a non-smartphone a couple of times a week so that they can be able to build for those customers in the emerging markets that are not using smartphones. Also, you can observe what customers behave. What people say, and what people do are sometimes not the same thing. Harvard Business Review found out organizations that master customer mapping have a higher customer satisfaction rate by 20%, and that leads to almost 15% increase in revenue. Study the customer in real time or in a simulated environment. Observe what they do. Use ethnographic studies. A really good example is we built a platform for an educational organization. And when we observed how customers were using it, we had to 360 degrees change the user experience to fit in with how the customer was working. Now, this has been said over and over again, but I'll say it again. Definitely leverage on data analytics. Collect as much information as you can, and then be curious about the data. So don't just collect information as an organization, as an individual for dashboards and for KPIs, but ask questions about the data, be curious about that data, and that could lead you to parts of insights and innovation. Now, for example, Netflix uses what the customer watches to give recommendations. Spotify uses churn by analyzing why users are unsubscribing and continuously using that to change their service offerings. Another way is to think of the customer journey as the job to be done. What's the job you really do for a client? For instance, a Netflix user is there to watch movies, but the true job to be done is entertainment without friction, which is why they have things like the personalized recommendations and they autoplay to make your life easier. Understand the core of what you provide, and innovation will be obvious. The age-old example is that the customer does not want a drill. What they want is a hole in the wall so they can hang their pictures or hang their shelves. Know what you're in the business of. If you are an employee that's going to employ innovation in your role. Lastly, stay abreast with market trends. I read about 1 to 2 to 3 hours a day on data about everything might not even be relevant to what I'm doing at the time. So keeping abreast of market trends can definitely show you ways in which you can innovate. Now, in conclusion, using a customer-centric approach isn't just about innovation. It's about shaping an exemplary career in the corporate role. Lead with innovating for customers, and you might find success there. Thank you for listening.